Okay, so 1/4 plus 0.8 plus 0.3. And the great thing about this problem is there's not just one way we can do this, okay? So we're dealing with fractions and decimals. So you kind of have a choice, right? And both ways are perfectly fine. So here I have a fraction, 1/4, plus two decimals, zero point 0.8 plus zero point 0.3. So you might be saying to yourself, there's two decimals here. So there's more decimals than fractions. Let me go ahead and take this fraction and turn this into a decimal, okay? So 1/4 as a decimal is 0.25. Now, there are some fraction equivalents that you should know. There's some fractions that you should know the decimal equivalents by just memory. So what's the decimal equivalent for the fraction 1/2? Hopefully you said, oh, it's 0.5, and you would be perfectly correct. So 1/4, the decimal equivalent for the fraction 1/4 is 0.25. So if you're like, well, how do you know this? Or how do we go from a fraction to a decimal? Well, if you had something like, say, 13/51, and you wanted to get the decimal equivalent for that particular fraction, what you have to do is take that 13 and divide by 51. Now, this is where a calculator comes in handy. You would do that, and you would get the decimal equivalent for 13/51. Okay, that's how you would do this, or you would have to go through this painful arithmetic, this division right here. Okay, so anyways, but something like this, 1/4, you should just know that this is equal to 0.25, all right? So there are some basic fractions like 1/2, 1/3, 3/4, these type of things where you need to know the decimal equivalent, or it's a good idea to do so. All right, that's why I didn't put, by the way, that's why I didn't put some very difficult fraction here. So you to get the decimal, I kind of made this nice and easy so you can just say, oh, that's 0.25. Okay, so now we're working with decimals. Everything here is decimals. We're just adding up 0.25 plus 0.8 plus 0.3. So how do I add up decimals? Well, you add them up just like any other number. So you can add them up in a column way. You could add up these two decimals first or these two decimals first, or you can just add them all up like so. So remember, what you need to do is you first line up those decimal points right here. And this is really bringing us down memory road, right? You're like, okay, yeah, I forgot how to do this. But just line up those decimal points. And now we're going to go ahead and add these numbers up. And then we'll talk about where that decimal point lands here in a second. Okay, so here is what we want to do. All right, so we have 0.25 plus 0.8 plus 0.3. So let's put some zeros in here so this is all lined up nice and neat. So think about it. If you were just adding up the numbers 25, 80, and 30, how would you do that? Well, we would go ahead and start on this column, and we just add up all the digits of this column. So 5 plus 0 is 5. So we're going to write a 5 there. So a lot of you are like, oh, yes, I definitely remember this. Okay, so what do we do now? Well, next thing is we're going to have to go ahead and add up this column, right? There's nothing to carry over here. So in other words, this isn't like 15. If this was a 5, 5, and 5, 15, you would carry a 1. But we just have a nice little 5 here. So now let's go ahead and add up this column here. Okay, so now we're going to add up 2 plus 8 and 3. So 2 and 8 is 10 plus 3 is 13. So we'll write our nice 13 right there. So we have 135, but now we have to address that decimal point, right? So the decimal point basically is going to stay in its same spot. We're just going to have to just drop it down right in where its current locations right here. So we have 135. So we're going to put that decimal point between the 1 and the 3. So our final answer is 1.35. Okay, now this is kind of like informal review for adding decimals. What we really want to do is take our time if you truly need to learn this stuff. By the way, let me just make a quick comment here. If you do need to, or if you want to review basic arithmetic, basic mathematics, I have a great little mini course. You can check it out at my Math Help program. It's called my Math Foundations course. I cover decimals, place values, fractions, percent, all that good stuff that we learned in elementary school that most of us forgot. But it is truly important that we still know how to do it. Okay, so this is how we can do this problem with decimals, 1.35. Now, some of you might be more comfortable working with fractions, and that's totally cool as well. So we have 1/4 plus 0.8 plus 0.3. But how do I say this decimal? I'm saying 0.8. But another way we could say this is 8/10. 8/10. Okay, this is what this is. This 8 is in the tenths place. Okay, we're talking about place value. So again, some of you are like, oh yeah, I kind of remember place value, the tenths, the hundredths, and this is a point where a lot of students would get really confused. They're like, oh yeah, I remember that, totally don't remember it. Well, it's important that you do remember that, because if you're like, 0.8, how do I write this as a fraction? Well, if you remember that this is not only 0.8, it's 8/10. 8/10. You just write it as 8/10. You write it as we say it. Okay, so this is 8/10, and this here is 0.3 or 3/10. So now we have 1/4 plus 8/10 plus 3/10. Now let's go ahead and deal with this right now. Okay, so 1/4 plus 8/10 plus 3/10. Now, anytime you're adding or subtracting fractions or doing anything with fractions, you always want to try to simplify these fractions right off the bat. So right here, I could reduce this fraction. This would be, 8/10. Let's go ahead and do this right here. 2 goes into 8/4, and 2 goes into 10/5. That could be 5/4. But I'm going to leave it in its current form because I'm going to add these fractions up right here. These fractions have the same denominators, and if I reduce this fraction, all I would have to do is just kind of reverse that. You don't have to do that, but it's just better to add these fractions up because they do have the lowest common denominator. They have the LCD right now. So I know I kind of stumbled when I said that, but if I made this into 4/5, 4/5 plus 3/10, well, that's not really going to help me out. So this is super easy to do. So let's go ahead and just deal with it right now. So 8/10 plus 3/10 is 11/10. Okay, so remember, when the denominators are the same and we're adding and subtracting fractions, we simply just add or subtract the respective numerators. So this is 11/10, and there you go. Okay, so this is why it's important to have different kind of like tactics when you're taking on a math problem. There's not one way to do it. Okay, you could have reduced this problem. You could have added these two fractions here. So there's not just one way, but there is the most efficient way, and that's why you really have to practice a lot of math just to kind of find those most efficient, best paths to take. Okay, so now we're down to this right here, 1/4 plus 11/10. Let's go ahead and take that on right now. So this problem here, these denominators are not the same. So we have a situation. We need to find common denominators, and the lowest common denominator here is 20. The LCD is the lowest number that both of these numbers divide into without a remainder. Okay, so do both 10 and 4 divide into 40 evenly? Of course they do, right? 40, all right, let's do it this way, and 10. Okay, so we would get nice answers here without a remainder. Okay, so that would be perfect, not a problem, right? So this, of course, is going to be 10, and this, of course, will be 4. But here's the deal. Is 40 the lowest number that both 4 and 10 divided to? No, it's 20. Okay, 20 is the lowest number that both 4 and 10 divide into. Now, why that is, if you're not, if you're still confused about the LCD, which many students are, you definitely need to review basic mathematics. All right, I want to point you towards my Math Foundations course, and I do have additional videos on my YouTube channel on exactly how you find the LCD. But here's the bottom line: the LCD is 20, meaning that we need to rewrite these fractions, okay, such that the denominators are 20. So in order to do that, we need to go ahead and adjust the numerators. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so we know that the LCD is 20. So I have this fraction 1/4. How do I make a 4 into a 20? Easy, I just multiply it by 5. Take that 4, multiply by 5, I get a 20. But if I'm going to multiply the denominator by 5, remember you have to multiply the numerator by 5. So whatever you do to the denominator, you have to do the exact same thing to the numerator. So now you have 5 over 20. Okay, but this is good because now we have a fraction where I have the LCD down there, okay, which is, of course, 20. And now I have 11 over 10. How do I turn that 10 into a 20? Easy, multiply by 2. But I also have to now multiply that numerator by 2. So now I have 22 over 20. Okay, so now we are ready to add because we have the same denominators. So how do we add when we have the same denominators? Easy, we just add the respective numerators. So 5 plus 22 is 27 over 20. And I can assure you, if you take this 27 and you divide it by 20, you're going to get this lovely decimal right here, 1.35, okay? 1.35, but it's not necessary for you to convert your fraction into a decimal or a mixed number. This is perfectly fine as long as it's fully reduced. Really, that's what makes a difference. But again, you know, the beauty of mathematics is there's not just one path you can take, and there's not even one form in terms of your final answers that you can express your solutions in as well. Okay, so if you're working with fractions or decimals, whatever you're most comfortable with, you still need to know how to work with both. But again, you know, a nice little problem like this is not beyond your ability. Okay, so the question was, can you do this? Absolutely, you can do this. Do you remember how to do this? Well, that's a different story, but hopefully this brushed off a lot of cobwebs. And again, just, you know, you got to really make sure that you understand that we are very spoiled with our calculators. Okay, calculators are awesome. Listen, I'm not looking to get rid of mine. I need my calculator, especially when I'm doing more advanced mathematics, but it is a tool. It doesn't replace you know, your understanding of concepts and skills. And arithmetic is one of those skills that if you don't practice from time to time, you will lose, and it's important not to lose those skills. Okay, so if this video was interesting or enjoyable to some small degree, don't forget to like and subscribe. And with that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your mathematics adventures. Thank you for your time and have a great day.